Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How do people generally change when they become successful? How do they change? Appearance, snobbish, behavior, confidence, anything else? Communication, they communicate better. Great answers. Panache, excellent. But I learned another thing as well. One day, I was sitting with a senior bureaucrat in the finance ministry in Delhi. This man has literally worked his way up from the bottom till the top. And when we were talking, his peon walks in. And the peon says, "Sir, there's a visitor for you." The bureaucrat gave a dirty look at the peon and said, "Did you knock on the door before you came in? And I told you many times, don't disturb me when I'm in a meeting. And why are the files still here? And where is my ashtray? B. In case you're wondering what that was, that's the deleted version of his excuses. A little while later, the bureaucrat's phone rings, and it was the minister on the line. And the bureaucrat's tone and his manner changed dramatically. "Yes, sir. No problem, sir. It will be done. The deadline will be met." Oh, how kind of you. I am grateful, sir. I walked away wondering, why? Why do people discriminate? Why do they have one attitude to their superiors and another attitude to those whom they consider to be their subordinates? Now, I have no problem with respecting superiors. That is important, because if you don't show respect, if you don't respect authority, there's no discipline and perhaps no promotion. But why? Why would you not show the same kind of respect to your subordinates? Why the segregation? Now, I'm not going to stand here and take a moral position and say, oh, this is good, this is bad. But I believe in one thing, that life is one big cycle. If you're up there today, you could be down there the very next moment. Therefore, do unto others what you would want others to do to you. Because what goes up will surely fall. We've seen that in the lives of people, of nations, of civilizations, of companies too. Look what's happening in US and Europe today. They were once the most prosperous, affluent places on earth. And today, they're in doldrums. Or think about some of the greatest companies a quarter century ago. Sony, Panasonic, or Kodak. Where are they today? They're struggling to survive. And so, life teaches us many lessons. But one thing is certain. Leadership in any sphere of life cannot be taken for granted. It does not remain in perpetuity. It will change. And so why? Why do we look down upon people when we are at a high? Why do we do that? I'm reminded of Mr. V.K. Krishna Menon. Has anyone heard of Krishna Menon? Who is he? Defense Minister. Good. He was also India's High Commissioner in the UK just after independence. And then, as you rightly mentioned, he was Defense Minister during Nehru's time. Probably the most powerful man in Nehru's capital. Now, Krishna Menon made friends only with the high and mighty. He was ruthless to his subordinates. Khushwant Singh, the veteran journalist and author, he worked under Krishna Menon in the High Commission in London in the 50s. And Singh says Menon was a terrible boss. In fact, Singh places Menon on top of the list of the most obnoxious men he's ever met. But Menon did have his downfall when India lost the war against China. Overnight, he was a nobody. One day, long after Menon faded away from the public scene, Rajesh Khanna, the film actor, he was sitting in his balcony and he noticed an old man wearing a white dhoti and a walking stick at his gate, and his guards were shooing him away. Don't come now, Saab is not there. Please don't stand here, move away, move away. Khanna got up to see what the commotion was, and it was then that he realized that the man in the dhoti was none other than Krishna Menon. Of course, Khanna welcomed him in and brought him inside. But look at the fall from grace for Mr. Menon. Look at the dramatic drop. Then what was the need for all that arrogance during his heydays? Friends, when was the last time you differentiated people? Because if you discriminate, you could be at the receiving end one day. So the best way to live is to maintain that balance and treat everybody equally. I'm reminded of that wonderful poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. That poem is basically a set of instructions to his son on how to live life. And there is this lovely stanza in there which says, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings and not lose the common touch. Friends, you may be successful today, you may be rich today, you may be powerful, heading corporations, you may have beauty. But remember one thing, never lose the common touch.